Yeah, we will start a structure of HTML document. What the title says, structure of HTML documents represent how we have to write the HTML document, the basic HTML document, which is very important here. It's a simple one of the simplest possible HTML documents and output of this, right? This is given here. So it's a structure of an HTML5 document, right? It is not a HTML 4.01, it's a HTML5 document. That is a structure which is available here. So started with a doc type here. First element we will consider it is a doc type. Later on you are having a HTML. Better you can write down in your notebooks, which will be helpful for you. Second one is a HTML. Third one is a head part. Fourth one is a body part. After that, fifth one is a meta character set. Sixth one, it's a link of a CSS. Seventh one as a link of a JavaScript. These are the elements we will consider. These are the elements of this structure elements of a HTML5 document. Now we will learn one by one what exactly the document type is there, or say second one, what is the second one, third, fourth. Okay, we will learn one by one. Best if you take it down in your notebook, it will be a very helpful when we will study in the next. Okay, now as can be seen in the corresponding capture of the document in the browser, such a simple document is hardly an especially existing visible spectacle. It's a theory part. A title, what is the first one? A title. Where is a title? Here it is a given title, right? Title, yes, title. The title element is used to provide a broad description of the content. The title is not displayed within the browser window. In the previous class, your friend is asking a title. In my mind, it is running it as a heading. Okay, it's a title which is not displayed in a browser side. Browser side it will not display. Instead, the title is typically displayed by the browser in its window or tab. It's very important. Where the title is displaying in a window or tab. Title is used by the browser for its bookmark. It's very important, you can keep in mind. Title is used. Why we have to give the title is very important. The title is used by the browser for its bookmarks and its browser history list. The operating system might also use the page titles, for instance in the web taskbar or in a MacDoc. Perhaps even more important than that of the above reason is that search engine will typically use a page's title as a linked text in their search engine result pages, right? So what is the use of a title? Title you have to give for the title for a web page. Again, the title will be seen on a tab, that's a window of that browser. Title is used for the bookmark, history and search engine. Just we will take one example here regarding explanation of this title, right? I have here one, just you consider here one.html. Am I given a title here? Of course, a very small document. We are discussing about this title. I will run this one in a Google Chrome, right? Okay, title is nothing but it's a tab or a new window. The name is visible here. So it is very important important of the title for the web pages, right? That title will not be displayed in this web page. The title is not displaying here, only it is displaying here as a tab. You are giving the name for the tab of this web page by using the title. Again, they call something like a bookmark which is used for the bookmark, right? Here it is a bookmarks. How can be a bookmarks? See, what is the name here? You are given the title, a very small document you are given. I have executed that program here. So can I make a bookmark? How can I make the bookmark? Just I will click on this here, bookmarks, and bookmark this tab. This tab represents a very small document. See here, the title comes here, a very small document. The title comes here for the bookmark. If you done here, then bookmarks will come here, a very small document. Bookmarks will come here. This is the tab, this is the space of the bookmarks. It's the space of the bookmarks. You will get the bookmark here. So again, it can be title can be used in so many other ways also. That is regarding a title. Okay, now next is a doc type. Item 1. What's item 1 here? It's a item 1. This is a document type.
Doc type.
Why we have to write this document type? They given the explanation here. Item 1 in a figure 2.9 points to the doc type or say document type definition element which tells the browser what type of document it is about to process. What type of document it is about to process? It's a HTML, right? It's a HTML. You are given a web page. You have created a web page and made it as a document as a HTML. When you give it to the browser should understand what type of the document you are giving for the browser. Browser will understand it as a HTML for the processing purpose. Browser will process that file as a HTML when you make it as a document type as a HTML, document type definition as a HTML. Notice that it does not indicate what version of HTML. We are not mentioning here a HTML. In the HTML5 if you are writing, we are not mentioning there a HTML version there. Within the document, it only specifies that it is a HTML. So if you are writing a XML, you are writing a XML version because XML is a stricter version of a something like a HTML5, right? XML is a very stricter version. So you have to mention the version also. This is how you have to write the document type in a XML format. This is how we are writing the document type in a HTML5. This is how we are discussing about the HTML. You have to keep in mind only the HTML5. Don't worry about the XML or XHTML. Don't worry about it. Just it is an example. You keep that 5 HTML5 the definitions. Next one is over 2, 3, 4. Where are the 2, 3, 4? 2 is a HTML, 3 is a head, 4 is a body. These are the elements we are discussing. HTML, head and body. HTML, head and body. HTML, head and body elements. Why we need to use that? However, in XHTML, they were required and most web authors continue to use them. Means in a XHTML, explicitly you have to mention HTML, head and body. Then if we are considering HTML5, is it required to write? It's an optional one. It's optional. I will give you an example for that. Just I consider it. Can I use here any HTML head body? No. Just only a document type and only the one paragraph I used. Will it execute? Yes or no? Whether will it give you any error? We will check here. Run in a Google Chrome, which is executing properly and giving you output. So it is not needed. It is not needed to use. It is not needed to use the HTML head body in a HTML5, but in XHTML must and should. Clear? But even though there is no mandatory, but we have to use that HTML head body in the HTML5, right? HTML element is sometimes called as a root element. HTML element is sometimes called as a root element as it contains all the other HTML elements in the document. It's very important. DOM, we discussed the DOM, document object model, that comes based on these root elements. Clear? Root elements. HTML is a root element here. I will give you an example here. We given here the structure body. Only we considered a body. Above the body, what we can have here HTML. Within the HTML, you can have a body. Within the HTML, you can have a head. HTML as a root. Children of HTML is a body and head. Above the diagram, we can have that also. Clear? That's also important here. Clear? That is a root element. HTML, below of the HTML, body and head part. In the body, again you have some elements. In a head part, again you are having some elements. Clear? Notice that it also has a lang object. Lang attribute. What do you mean by lang? It's a language attribute. This optional attribute tells the browser that a natural language that is being used for textual content in the HTML document, which is English. ENG, we used a ENG here. We used a lang is equal to ENG. This is the head part we are discussing. In the head part, lang we are using. What do you mean by lang? It's a language is used. EN represent it is a English language. search engine and search reader software can use this information. The search engine and search readers are using that in the head part. HTML pages are divided into two sections. I told you root element is a HTML. Below of that HTML head and body parts are there. There are head and body part, which corresponds to head and body elements. Clear? These are the elements, nothing but a tags, and the sections are head and body sections. Then what is the head here? The head contains the descriptive elements about the document, such as its title, any style sheets used, or JavaScript files are used, and other types of metadata information used by the search engines and other program. Head portion is also very important. Head portion is also very important. Basically or mainly that is using that the head is using a link section of a style sheet, that is a CSS, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript files. Which JavaScript file or which CSS you are using for your HTML pages? Again, a title and some other documents, it is written in a head portion. Just we will check here. In the head portion, meta, title, link, script. It's a link for a CSS. Main.css you are having here. It's a cascading style sheet. Only the link, not a main.css file. Just only we are mentioning the links. We are mentioning the link for a JavaScript. Clear? Used by search engine. Okay, the body. After that head, we are having a body part. The body contains content that will be displayed by the browser. HTML elements and regular text. What the body part? Body part will contain the body of the HTML, in the sense that whatever will be displayed in the browser side, main content is carried in the body part. Main content is carried in a body part. Okay, that is regarding 2, 3, 4. Now it is a 5 section we are discussing. You will notice that in a head portion contains a variety of additional information. The first is a meta element, that is item number 5. What is a meta element here? Meta character set is equal to UTF minus 8. You keep in mind this one, meta character set is equal to UTF minus 8. We are discussing this one. Why we need this, we will discuss here. It's a in example 2.9 declares that character encoding for the document is UTF minus 8 character encoding, refers to which character set standard is being used to encode the character in the document. So what is the use of item 5? That is a meta character. It is for a encoding purpose. Encoding, why we need encoding? You are sending your HTML page from a server to the client, then there is a communication from a server to the client. When it is communicating, your data of a web page should not be carried by other persons or intruder. For the reason, you should use a encoding, or say something like a character encoding we are using. That is a UTF minus 8. It is a one version. Then what is a UTF minus 8? Is a more complete variable width encoding system that encode all 1,10,000 characters in a Unicode character sets. Right? UTF minus 8 can carry the most wide variety of characters. That is a 1,10,000 characters it will be encoding. That is regarding item number 5. Now it's item number 6. Item number 6 and 7 are the links here. 6 is for the cascading style sheet, 7 is for the JavaScript. This is only the link. The file may be stored in your computer within the HTML pages, that is a .js and .css. These are the two different files. Clear? Regarding that one. Item 6 in figure 2.8 specify the external CSS style sheets. What do you mean by external CSS style sheets? That's a file which you are stored in your computer and you are using that file within your HTML page. Something like you are using a hash include string.h, you are string.h is a header file which is stored in a computer, you are using in your program for the some specific purposes. Similarly, we are using a cascading style sheets. These external files are stored somewhere in your computer and you are using that file in your HTML page development. Virtually all commercial web pages created in a last decade make use of a style sheets to define visual look. What is the use of a style sheets? to give the visual look for HTML elements in the HTML document. Clear? It's very important. Why we are using a style sheets? Giving the visual look for a HTML elements, in the sense that if you are using a button, it should look properly. If you are using something like a paragraph, what is the color you are applying, what is the font size you are applying, that is all can be carried out by the cascading style sheets. That is the style sheets. Virtually all commercial web pages created in the last decade make use of a style sheets to define. That's a copy of this here. Styles can also be defined within a HTML document, in the sense that you are using a external file here. Instead of that, you can include that code within the HTML document. Instead of the external file using, you can use a code. You can write the CSS code within the HTML document. That is also possible by using a style tag. Which tag you are using for a style? It's a style tag. Clear? CSS. How can you apply the CSS here in the HTML document? Implicitly by using a style tag. Very important. This style tag is very important. For consistency's sake, most sites place most of all their style sheet definition within one or more external. In the sense that development, if you are developing, or say if you are becoming an expert, you are keeping the CSS as a outside of your HTML as a external style sheet files only. Clear? This is regarding item number 6. Notice that in this example, the file being referred, that is the main.css, resides within the subfolder called as CSS. In other folder, that file is existed. You are using that folder or that file within your HTML document. This is by no means a requirement. It is common practice, however, for web authors to place additional external CSS, JavaScript and images files into their own subfolders. You can maintain these all in other folders. Item 7. Item 7 represent here. 7 is representing, it is a JavaScript. .js represent JavaScript. Clear? JavaScript. This also same thing. It's a JavaScript which you are storing in out of your HTML pages, and you are including that by using the script tag. Item 7 in the figure 9 refers the external JavaScript file. Most modern commercial sites use at least some JavaScript files, like with a style definition, what we discussed in earlier style definition. No, similarly, we are using this JavaScript. Now, I can ask you, what is the purpose of the JavaScript? JavaScript is a client-side programming file or a programming script. JavaScript is nothing but client-side programming that can be done client-side programming. JavaScript code can be written directly within the HTML or contained within an external file. You can write the code, or you can use the files which is stored out of the HTML. This is all what we explained now. Now it's a body part. Some headings we used here, some paragraphs we used. It's an anchor tag, it's a H reference represent. You are giving a reference of the external websites. Again, it is some strong represent, bold image you are carrying. This is a code and this is the output of that code. It's a one example. And something we discussed here. This is an example where document and language, here head part, within the head part you are having a title, meta character is there. Again, we will call it as a inside, implicitly you are writing a style. How can we write? I told you, either external files can be used, otherwise you can write your code here within the folder, within this HTML pages. This is a style you are using within the HTML pages. Again, in a body part, you are writing implicitly. The style you are writing here implicitly. Images you are taking, paragraph you are taking. These are the elements. In detail, we will discuss when the concepts comes, as and when the concepts comes, we'll discuss one by one. We'll execute what happens, we'll check here. This is all about the output of that code.